Alright, my junior year in high school, it shut off on me. This is part two. I gotta watch and listen to the beep in the background. My junior year, I failed American government, okay? Had enough credits to graduate in my junior year. It's junior year. I could have graduated early in my senior year, let's put it that way. I think I had to take one stupid class or something. I don't know. I had like enough credits to graduate, but I had to have that frickin' American government. And I was working. I was still working in my senior year. I was a 4-year letterman in college. One of the first freshmen in my class to get a varsity letter jacket. Being a freshman and a varsity letterman is really hard because the stupid JV football players who thought they were didn't think I deserved it, whatever. I was a 4-year letterman. I was in the Y-Teens Club. I had a chance to get into the Lions Club in Maumee. I was like offered all kinds of things. I turned it all down because I didn't want that big name because I got persecuted for it. And all I wanted to do is work and make money. And but I worked in my high school, during my high school, my senior year, I took up DECA, which gave me 4 credit hours. Okay. I'm trying to think if that was 4 year or half a year. I can't remember which one it was. Well, anyways, I had to take American government again. But between when you'd done your junior year and went through the summer, and you got to go back for your senior year, I had to take this fucking American government. And I had to wait until the end of the year because they didn't offer it until like the end of the year. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do for? So I was working, so they enrolled me into DECA. So I had to go to class 2 hours a day in the morning. And I went to class 2 hours a day in the morning and learned all about business stuff. And it was a business related thing. It was 4 credit hours. I'm like, what the hell? It gave me more credit hours than I needed to graduate. But I had to take that class. But the thing is, I could have really graduated my early senior year, like really early. And Mom and Dad sent me to summer school to take up American government, that one class that I screwed around in. And me hating the American government and not really fully understanding it when you're a kid, I didn't put my mind to it. So I just partied during summer school and failed that class. My mom and dad were pissed at me because I could have graduated. But I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I look back at it and I'm like, man, I really screwed up, And I had lots of opportunities in my life, and I blew them all away, But, so I get into the DECA, do their class, and there was smart kids. These kids were like brains. I would never consider myself a brain, but my thing was art and mechanical drawing, right? And I was creative, and I worked. And they must have thought I was smart enough to be in a class because, the average person grade average is like A's in there. And these people were like fucking honor students. And I felt stupid being in there. I'm like, what am I doing? How did I get in this class? But they put me in this class. I never thought I was that smart. I must have been smart enough to get in that class, or I must have had enough credits. Maybe they thought I Maybe they thought they'd please me or something. I don't know what they were thinking. But but anyways, I went in that class and I was still working. I never skipped that class though. I kind of liked the teacher. Did a lot of projects through that class, and I really liked DECA. Wish I would have gotten into it a little bit more, put more into it, but I didn't, because I really didn't care about school. Still didn't care about school, and so I went to the class. I was failing. Finally ended up going into American government at the end of the year, like. And I was like, man, this sucks. I didn't like the teacher, the instructor. And I just I kept skipping the classes. I couldn't stand it. I don't know why. And my counselor was like, what is it? My counselors come, what is the matter with you? Why can't you do this? He goes, I know you can do this. Yeah, I probably can. He says, if you don't pass this class, you ain't graduating. I'm like, oh shit. That means I gotta go back to school. And I used to have nightmares about having to go back to school. It really sucked. Mom was, she finally, I finally buckled down. And how I did it was I just read the textbook into a tape recorder and I took notes, and it was coming to the final exam. That's what he said. If I didn't pass the final exam, I wasn't going to graduate. I'm like, oh shit. So I took a couple months and just studied my ass off. Just tried to memorize everything I can think of. And I'd read the textbook into a tape recorder, and I'd go to bed with playing, and every night Mom would drill me in that, and I still hated it, but I did. And I took the exam, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. I mean, there were some things that, I don't remember, like, a lot of times I couldn't remember dates, and I couldn't remember names and who and all that stuff. It's all that crap shit you got to remember. And but I think I ended up getting a B in the final exam, and it gave me a C for the final grade in there, and I graduated. So I was so happy to get out of school. I couldn't stand it. Mom and Dad I could have had scholarships to go to college. I didn't go to college. So work, that's all I thought about. That's just, I'll just make this end part 2. I have to figure out what I'm going to say next.